All right, here we go with journalizing, correcting entries, and correcting posting errors. Now, again, we have a manual accounting system. Ordinarily, in a computerized accounting system, these wouldn't have the cross outs and the adjustments like what we're going to show you here. But again, we're learning theory and a manual process, and also understand that mistakes happen. And so far, all the transactions we've entered in these various lessons have been perfect. Well, that's not reality, and people make mistakes. In fact, I've just made a mistake recently in an accounting situation, and we've been spending some time this week correcting it. And it's been very applicable to what we're talking about here, that people make mistakes, right? So here we go. We're going to analyze incorrect journal entries and preparing correcting entries and demonstrate how to correct errors made during the posting process. So we can either make an error in the journalizing, or we can make an error in the posting process, either putting in the wrong amount, putting it to the wrong account, or putting in it in the wrong debit or credit column. All of these things can happen. Now, again, if you have a computerized system, it might alleviate some of your accuracy in that posting process because it's happening electronically and automatically. But you still do make errors in electronic accounting system software as well. Trust me, I'm a poster child for making errors in accounting software programs as well. I was in industry for 20 years. If you don't make a mistake, it's something's probably wrong at some point. Okay. Incorrect journal entry should be corrected with an additional journal entry called a correcting entry. This is what we would call a manual journal entry. Memorandum is prepared as a source document describing the correction to be made. Oftentimes, though, in reality, the memorandum is just simply an explanation in the journal entry, like a little written blurb as to what you're doing. That would suffice for a source document, just describing maybe the previous transaction references and what you're correcting. So you're correcting a previous entry. So again, the memorandum might be right in the journal entry software, if you like. Okay. So if we make an entry in a journal entry, discover that a payment of cash for advertising in March was journalized and posted in error as a debit to miscellaneous expense instead of advertising expense. And memorandum number 15. Okay. So we're going to debit advertising expense. Again, what's the impact of our accounts? Do that thing of which accounts are affected. How is each account classified? How is each classification changed? Asset, liability, expense, revenue, whatever. And how is each amount entered into the accounts? In this case, well, let's make sure we have our debit or increase to advertising expense. Let's make sure that we have a credit to miscellaneous expense to correct the previous entry. Okay. Now understand here that cash, even though cash was one of the original accounts involved, we didn't make the error with cash. So don't mess with cash, because we're assuming that cash was credited or reduced on the right side of the transaction. It was posted correctly. We just put it to the wrong account. And also remember that T accounts, like here, T accounts will always be helpful if you have errors or if you're trying to understand what happened. Pull out a T account and put in the transactions and figure out what the balances are and so on. That's what we did here with our T accounts. Okay. Verify, of course, debits and credits are correct for the correcting entry. And again, sometimes the error is not in recording the journal entry, but in posting, in this case, to the wrong account. So it would look like this. Our journal entry would look like a general debit to advertising expense of $120, a general credit of miscellaneous expense of $120. All right, there you go. Again, step 1, record the date. Step 2, put the debit amount in with the advertising expense description. Step 3, put in your credit amount. Again, general credit. We'll go to line 2, put in miscellaneous expense, because none of our special column items, sales credit, cash, debit, or credit, are affected. Source document is M15. Four-step process, just like we did in our last chapter. Okay. Correcting an error and posting to the wrong account. Here we have supplies. Now, wait a second. Hold on here. Okay, so here we had the right journal entry. We just posted it. When we posted it, we put it to the wrong place. Draw a line to the entire incorrect entry. So in this case, we're not going to go back and create a journal entry because we had the correct journal entry. We just didn't post it correctly. We found out, oh, shoot, we messed up. Draw a line to the entire incorrect entry. Record the posting in the correct account. Recalculate the account balance as, I would say, if necessary. In this case, you just cross out that entry for prepaid insurance and just record the previous account balance of $325. But up above, we're going to add that new entry of 12 from the 12th from page 4 of our multi-column journal of a debit of $100, giving us a new balance of $500. How about an incorrect amount? Here we posted $450 debit to miscellaneous expense instead of $45. So when we went to prove our debits and credits, we would have come up with, this doesn't match, which we're going to get into in a later chapter as well, which sniffs those errors out for us. All right. Draw a line to the incorrect amount. Again, we had the right journal entry. We just posted it incorrectly. We put 450 instead of 45. Must have been a Friday. Like I'm recording this today. Draw a line to the incorrect amount. Write the correct amount just above the incorrect amount in the same space. Now you're doing this with pen. Again, a computerized system would be different. Recalculate the account balance, 45. In this case, we did the same thing on May 31st. Oh, it says we posted it in the wrong column. Whoa, wait, what am I doing here? Go back here. Yeah, so here we posted it in the wrong column. Draw a line to the incorrect amount, 30. Put it in the correct column, 30. By the way, in this case, when you prove debits and credits, you will be doubly off. You'll be doubly off. You'll be $60 off in one of your columns because you basically reversed an error. We'll talk more about error correction later. And then, of course, record the new balance. We had a previous balance of 45. Boy, we really messed up on the miscellaneous expense account this month, didn't we? Add $30. Our new balance is 75. Okay. What is a correcting entry? A journal entry made to correct an error in the ledger. That's a correcting entry when we mess up in the journal. When is a correcting entry necessary? When a transaction has been improperly journalized and posted to the ledger. Journalize is the emphasis there. We journalized it and posted it. Otherwise, it needs a correcting entry. What are the 3 steps of correcting an incorrect amount posted to an account? Again, this is where we did not misjournalize. We misposted. Draw a line through the incorrect amount. Write the correct amount above. Recalculate the account balance. Correcting 3 steps for correcting an amount posted to an incorrect column. Draw a line through the incorrect item. Record the posting in the correct amount column. Recalculate the account balance. All right, let's do a practice here. I'm on 4.4 here. Work together in Mind Tab. You might need to pause this to catch up with me. So work together, 4.4, practice here. We have 2 transactions here. Discover that a transaction for supplies bought last month was journalized and posted in error as a debit to prepaid insurance instead of supplies, $75 M15. I'm going to be a good boy and write December space 1. All right. And our journalizing is going to be we should have put this to supplies, document number M15, should have debited supplies on the first. We should have credited, we're going to credit prepaid insurance because we made that debit in error to prepaid insurance. So I'm going to credit that for 75, adjust for that first entry. And ordinarily, you'd be making a correcting journal entry at the end of the month, right? Okay, and let's see here. Let's go down here. Next entry. Discover that a transaction for rent expense for last month was journalized and posted in error as a debit to repair expense instead of rent expense. Okay, on the first, should have gone to rent expense, memo 16, debit of $900. Should have been credited. We're gonna back that out of repair expense. We don't have to write the document number twice when we have two different lines on our journal. How we would journalize those two correcting entries. Write the date, write the amount, write the document number, just like we did in the previous chapter, put our debit amount, and then do the same thing for credit. Okay? And you know what? Where did I mess up? I didn't need to put the date. I didn't need to put the date for that second line there. That was unnecessary. I'm going to go back and fix that because it's part of that originally first line entry. It was also discovered that two posting errors were made to the owner's drawing account. The November 15th amount should have been $540. The November 30th amount, including a debit to the drawing account for $400 that was posted in error as a credit. Determine what amount should be entered in each lettered cell. Okay. Well, cell A should have been 540, right? I'm going to say 540. Cell B, nothing. Cell C should have a new balance of 540 to correct that previous thing that was misposted. So we'd cross out 450, put in 540, cross out 450, put in 540 up above. The November 30th entry, the drawing account for 400 that was posted in error as a credit. Determine what amount should be entered in each letter of the cell. Well, cell E should have the 400 in it. Cell F should have nothing. We should put 0 in there. It's not going to let us put 0. Does it let us do 0.00? No. Cell G now has our new balance. Our previous balance was 540. Remember, we crossed that out imaginary and put in 540. Add 400. Our new balance in cell G should be 940. H would be blank. We would never make credit entries to drawing, and it should never have a credit balance. How are we looking there? I didn't even look at the chart of accounts. There it is for reference if you need that. Okay. So I made my correcting entries and I adjusted my posting errors. I need to wake up next month, huh? Save and continue. How did I do? Curious. Now you're on your own doing the same thing. All right. So have fun with that one. And we'll go on from here to preparing for the Chapter 4 test. All right. Let me know if you have any questions. Enjoy your day.